termed as a special sitting to look at key national issues, and a couple of those issues centered around the passage of the national envelope of this country, to talk about the resolution calling for the establishment of World and Economic Crimes Court, and there were other pieces of legislations acted upon as part of the special sitting. And the duration ended on the 30th of April, of course, and of course we are in May. Constitutionally, as per the amendment to the Public Financial Management Law, the lawmakers have returned for the second quarter. And so if you hear us talk about second quarters, is based on the amendment to the the Public Financial Management Law that speaks to calendar year void of what we termed as the fiscal period, in our country that had to do with June, June, up war with our budget. But this time we're running a calendar year from January up to December in terms of our budget period.
Right. And so, as intimated, we're back up Capitol Hill for the second quarter. Congratulations. We now have a full house. Before we were 72 members, because there was a vacant seat in Trent District, Grand Juda County Electoral District number 1, and the election was held on the 23rd of April, 2024, and representative now he's being installed, Representative Jeremiah Sokan. He took his seat on today, being inducted as a full-fledged member of the 55th legislature. So Chen District now has a representation in the 55th legislature. Congratulations to the people of Grand Juda County Electoral District number 1. And so, consistent with the House's rules and procedure, Rule 11 says before taking your seat, you have to take an oath of affirmation. And so, consistent with that, with the Rule 11, to uphold the Constitution and diligently serve the interests of the people of Chen District, Grand Juda County District 1, the House on today inducted its new member, Representative Jeremiah Sokan of Grand Juda County. So congratulations to the people of Grand Juda District 1. So we have a full house now. We have 73 members of the House of Representatives.
Indeed, we were 72 because the late representative died, and so as per the Constitution, the members of the legislature, specifically the Honorary House of Representatives, had to inform the National Elections Commission about the passing of Representative Madison Guyan, and so the National Elections Commission conducted a by-election in Grand Juda County, specifically District 1, and following the by-elections, he was certificated. And officially, per the rules of the Honorary House, like Director Haynes read, he had to be sworn in. And so that ceremony took place today, thanks to the Deputy Speaker of the Honorary House of Representatives, who was presiding and ensured that he was inducted. So yes, the I-73 members of the Honorary House of Representatives who are seated now, there is no other vacancy in the Honorary House of Representatives. And so if there is a vote to be taken amongst the members of the Honorary House of Representatives, you expect that we will tell you all 73 members participated in such decision.
Right, you're absolutely correct. Just that the speaker is not going to be amongst those voting unless there is a tie. So, but this is where we are now. Let's inform the public that after the process of the budget hearing, we came here, we told you about the inclusivity, where each of the lawmakers have time to speak during the budget debate. And they basically spoke about projects within their district. Now, here is a new thing here, that the House took a kind of decision, the legislature in totality, to allocate some funds for each of the districts. That is, each of the district will have projects that will be done in that district. So they will go to their people, talk to the people what sort of project you want to execute, and then you're going to be working. It's a particular department now set up at the House of Representatives that we're going to be working along with Lace. Lace is in the executive branch, and we'll be obliged to inform you that following the passage of the budget, which is the country's draft national development envelope, now it has been legislated. There were allocations, and for instance, Montserrat County being the county with the higher numbers of representatives, 17 electoral districts. So there was 2 million allocated for Maserado. So that 2 million is going to be divided. Each district will have 100 million. Is it that? It's 100,000.
Yes,
100,000. Sorry, 100,000 each district. Each district will have for representative. Each of the district 100,000 is allocated for project. And to inform you, the public, that fund is not going in the lawmaker's account. That fund is going to be specifically for project. So the implementing arm of it is LACE to do legislative project. So what will happen in this case is that the lawmaker will go back to his people and they talk about what sort of project to be done. And then they're going to work along with LACE to do the design. If it is infrastructure, to do the design. And then what going to be the cost of it? And then it's going to be executed, implemented by LACE. So that it doesn't be seen in a way where if you're not probably friendly with the executive and then your project has not been done. That's the reason why strategically this process was being done to make sure that all the lawmakers feel a part. And that's why the budget is the national development envelope.
Yes, Director Haynes, actually, you are not short of words telling the public about some of the decisions taken by the honorable members of the legislature, because you know you have the Liberian Senate and the honorable House of Representatives meet as a unit to deliberate the national envelope of this country, and has been acted upon well. And like was said to you from the deliberations of the budget, we said this is much more a people-centered budget that is going to include development projects for the forward march of this country. And we can say to you, like he said, Montserrat County is going to be going with some 2 million. 2 million.
Next is Nima County,
but it's based on on the population. It's based on the size of the county. That's how the allocation is being allotted. So for Montserrat County, when you look at the map, you know squarely that Montserrat County is populated. It has the land space. And then next you talk about 17 districts. You have Nima with 9 districts. You move on to Bong, with another district of 8, and then you move over to 7. Then you move over to Lufa County. So yes, the appropriation or allocation in this regard is based on the size of the county, and with no disrespect to other counties, but again, with all share of fairness into our discussion, you understand that the lawmakers are looking at the projects that will benefit the people.
Right.
So it's not going to be something that the lawmaker, one person will just say, "Oh no, the lawmaker there, they put the money there, so we'll go to there." No, they are not responsible for such. What they intend to do is to ensure that the livelihood of people, you talk about schools across the country, they are now well developed. So they are now well structured. You're talking about lawmakers who are thinking outside of the box and say, let's move into our districts, especially the lawmakers who come from rural counties. Mm-hmm. Let's move in rural districts. Let's move in. Let's improve the living conditions of our people. This is about this money that is being allotted in the budget.
And this is where we come in to say it's a people-centered budget.
Very well.
Right. So Montserrat 2 million, Nima County 1.2 million, Sano County 600,000, Grand Bassa 800,000, Maryland County 600,000, Magibi County 800,000, Bone County 1 million, Lufa County 800,000, Grand Kitman County 600,000, Bumi County 600,000, Bapuru 600,000, Grand Jide County 600,000, River G 600,000, Grand Crew County 500,000, River Cess 500,000. So the legislative support projects will be implemented by the executive branch through LACE. lawmakers and constituents will select and submit projects to the legislative budget office, which will then forward it to LIS for implementation.
And I think we ought to say thanks a million to the honorable speaker for being very watchful and thinking also that yes, the people deserve much and better. That's why you have these patches that will cut across the country. And all we can think about is to see a better Liberia on this 55th legislature because the I people center.
Right. With that said, we bring around the table a proud son of Nima County, Nima County proud son from electoral district number 3. His name is Honorable Neko Ige. He represents the people of Nima District 3. At the level of the House of Representatives, he is the co-chairperson on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. It's our pleasure to have him here this evening on the show with us. Honorable Ige, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You're truly a diplomat.
Yes, I was about to say that. He's coming as a diplomat, and even his response, greeting you, tells you that yes, indeed, he is a diplomat. Welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Honorable Gay, I like your suit, but we have a tradition here on the program where we bring bring the leaders and they talk to their people, to greet the people in their vernacular. You want to do that? The people in Nima County are listening now.
The district I represent has
Cut across.
It is an intellectual terrain.
two had a man side and a dance side.
Oh, okay.
So the Main Administrative District and good portion of Zor, Chief Don, speak the man, the Nicola, and then cutting from Zor, go away, Cali going to Campley, don't go out to Buddha. They speak the Dan,
So which one you will speak?
So I'm going to speak to them in both,
Okay, that's excellent. That's what make you a people-centered person.
I'm sorry, Kagbere, Kabuma, Omeno, Dano, Katue, Kavue.
And that was that's
The mind
The
down.
mind.
Okay. So great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hayes. It's a pleasure to appear. I think this is my first time appearing at ELBC.
Okay.
I thank you for the facility, and I want to extend my appreciation to the management of this radio station for the level of development they have executed so far to actually give this facility a facelift. This is in the government, facility that is actually disseminating government propaganda machinery, to the outside world, so and also to the various countries. So thank you so much for this place, and on behalf of my staffers, I say we appreciate the management of this place for the care taken so far.
Coming from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the legislature. So coming from the executive in the legislature, how is it? How are you coping?
Well, we are in the learning curve. For the executive, the work is a little bit different.
Okay.
For the legislature. I work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from 2004 up to last year, and I just tendered my resignation in January. And 3 weeks ago, the entity had a farewell program for me, and it was actually colorful. It was attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madam Beslow, some other official of government attended the program along with the officials and member of Mufawa. And I had to tell them from the goodbye that I was leaving finally the Ministry of Foreign Affairs enclave, to the legislature, for new ideas and to also form part of the national decision making process of Liberia. And so that we can also collectively work together to ensure that the new government under the administration of Joseph Newman Boaka succeeds. So on that note, I think the life of the legislature is challenging. We were dealing with just one office before, but right now we are controlling whole district. So we had to do the people's work. That's why we were elected for. It is, the tension is not easy. So you are controlled by the people. So anytime anything happens in the district, you are under obligation to, even if it's midnight, you have to, get in the district like the few days when the poro master, siege the Asala Meta facility. We were under obligation to proceed there immediately, to put the situation under control, along with the Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister Francis Yumane, and some officials of government from the Mass Energy Ministry, the National Bureau of Concession, and other agencies that were represented, along with the county administration, and also my distinguished colleague, Honorable Flomo. He and I share common boundary, District 2 and District 3. The affected community within the Asada Meta, Mani area. So I think the resolution was okay, and our people, there were some points that were genuine. We have also to ask the Meta that from this point going forward, let's be very sensitive to the plight of our people, because if you are operating in a particular area and the citizens of that place are not actually, satisfied, it will always result into a devastating situation that will
Right.
be more chaotic. We are saying that the solution the last time should be more long lasting, and they should be able to avail themselves some of these issues that the people raise with respect to the job opportunity. Some of those unskilled and skilled jobs should be provided to the people. Some of these issues that they raise about scholarship opportunities, both local and international. Some of the issues they raise about pollution and environmental degradation. Some issues rehabilitation. So the Minister of Internal Affairs was clear and very conspicuous in articulating the views from the president, and the message was conveyed to the people in the right direction, that going forward, Asada Meta should be able to live up to eight promises made, within the MDA, so that our people too can, at least feel part of the investment. And moreover, if you look at the security nature of the investment, I think the people who are in the space of the investment, activity should be able to be inclusive of the investment activity for protection sake.
Right.
So some of the key issue taken into consideration, I think going forward, we are going to be more robust and make Asada Meta to know that we have a partner, and we have also people that live in your area. You have to also take good care of them so that at least we can coexist.
I know very well. Could we say reasons stated could be one of such that led you to maybe contest the district representative seat? What
About
led you coming from the executive and then having such thirst to go to the legislature?
actually, it has been my passion. If you ask most of my colleagues from the diplomatic circle, when I went to the diplomatic school and I graduated from there, I was sent in the Conakry mission. I spent some time there. I did my diplomatic practicum with the embassy, the UNDP system, and the UN system. And when I returned, I would have been posted, but God knows the reason why I was not posted. Most of my friends were posted. Some went to China, Germany, the US, and other places. And mine on delay. But most of the time, I used to tell them that, my brother and sisters, one day I want my voice to be heard on the national scene.
Okay.
And I've been very passionate on it. And I contested in 2017. I didn't win, and I could not give up along the way. I remained very persistent and consistently engaged with my people. And it was based upon that God passed through my people to have me elected. And I come from a student advocacy background also. I've been in the leadership of the NUSA, the GUSA, in NIMBA, articulating the views and aspirations of people through advocacy. So coming into the legislature, it has been my passion, it has been my dream. And I've been working on it that one day I'm going to form part of the national leadership of this country to provide guidance, politically, administratively, so that our country, some of the ideas that are in us, I think if they are unveiled and revealed to the public, I think it can also add up to other people, national leaders, to that we can move Liberia on the right trajectory, because the country have lived for 170 some more years, and we cannot see anything better. So I think the ideas and the vision that we have for Liberia, we need to also work together, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, on the basis of upholding the rule of law, and we too, on the basis of, making good laws and providing adequate and sufficient representation of people, and also being very, robustly engaged and with respect to the oversight responsibility to the executive. I think if we actually enforce and our duties and responsibility ensured within the constitution, I think the country will be on the right trajectory, because some of the problems that have been existing in the past is that people have been reneging on responsibility, especially when it comes to fraternity, brotherhood, and then protecting each other within the space of the public. And sometimes people do the wrong thing without penalties, measure taken against them to actually, enforce the law in the rightful perspective. So these have been some of the impeding factors and hindrances that are created Liberia backwardness. So we are saying that we actually come with renewed commitment and ideas, actually under the new administration, to push Liberia agenda forward. And we are in support of the rest agenda, and the agricultural area, the rule of law, the rule, the sanitation, the tourism. And these are activities that if the government, under the leadership of President Bwaka, if these things are executed and implemented to the fullest, I think Liberia will move forward, and we are going to advance our national agenda with the development of the patriotic consciousness and the nationalistic spirit. I think we can move Liberia forward.
You see this as a dream come true.
Yeah, sure.
Now you are though not in the employ anymore of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You are now being elected by your people in District Number 3, but you are also being appointed as co-chairperson on Foreign Affairs. As a matter of fact, the house in Nima County has Foreign Affairs Committee, because yes, District 9 in Nima County is the chair. It's the chair of Foreign Affairs, and you've been a person who worked there. You co-chair. I just want to know if in recent time, or what are some of the plans this committee have to working with other countries, or working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to look at some international challenges, such as diplomatic tensions and so forth like that?
I think the last time the committee met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I think the meeting was very productive. It was intended to further enhance our cooperation within the two branches of government, so that we can actually make sure that the foreign policy of Liberia is actually articulated in the manner that will attract more foreign direct investment. The post-war agenda of Liberia have been more focused in the economic diplomacy. Mm-hmm. So I think with the agenda of the arrest agenda, tourism being high on agenda, I think that we can use that opportunity to invite more foreign direct investment into the tourism sector. And the foreign policy, have been actually deeply rooted in the non-interference in the foreign in activities in other countries.
You carry me back to Cape Foreign Service Institute now.
So Liberia, as a country that play a pivotal role within the decolonization of most African countries, and during the scramble for Africa by the European nations, Liberia have played a significant role in articulating a foreign policy through peaceful coexistence among other friendly nations. And the role that Liberia play at the United Nations Security Council, the role at the UN General Assembly, in even voting for other countries to become independent state today, are enormous, achievement that Liberia have made.
Yeah, so in this, for Israel.
Yeah, in this new agenda where the new administration has come with its new agenda, we need to also tie it to our foreign policy, so that we can, propagate sound, diplomatic message to our partners, our development partners, our diplomatic, relations to be improved. Because we need to spread our tentacles all around the world, so that we can be able to attract more foreign direct investment. That alone can also help to improve our economy, because the diplomats are out there, they take instruction from home office. So the meeting we have with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, there are key issues that are serving as challenges to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and to the Liberian government when it comes to the depth that all international organizations, that one of the key issues that Liberia need to actually attach great importance to it, if we want for visibility and our presence to be at international organizations, that the ECOWAS, that the EU, that the various subsidiary
parliamentary bodies,
that the other subsidiary body of United Nations, like WTO, the WAPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, the World Custom Organization. Some of these, organizations, for Liberia to have, voice within those organizations and to increase our visibility and our presence in the area. Liberia owe a lot, and the money that we owe, our arrears, and some of the quota that we owe, we make the president or the minister of foreign affairs that indeed we need to attach great importance to the settlement of these arrears so that it can allow us to actually participate, because most of the time when
Were their commitments coming from the foreign affairs?
The foreign affairs law cannot do that. It need to be done in consultation with the president along with the minister of finance, RA people, so that because the foreign affairs can elevate the debate and then it can be attention to the minister of finance and development planning so that they can be able to settle these there, because when these things are not settled, most of our representation that go outside there to attend some of the conferences. When we are the Minister of Foreign Affairs, before you attend conferences, international conferences, you are given letter of credential or maybe full power to participate. But if you go there, if you are not a current due payer to the international organization, why you do that? You just serve as observer member and you are not allowed to vote. So we are saying that we are proposing to the Minister of Foreign Affairs that going forward, let us work together. Let's try to at least liaise with the Minister of Finance and Development Planning to see the settlement of these arrears with international organizations as a priority. So that because the job issue, look at sometimes when they put one vacancy out in Liberia, sometimes people fight away. But if we actually settle our arrears with the international organizations, some of the vacancies, Liberia who have high credential, that will meet the standard of these jobs can vie for it, and through our lobbyistic power with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the government can also help for Liberians, because mind you, the African Union AU, if you look at the structure of AU, you have Commissioner for Peace and Security, Commissioner for Trade and Investment, Commissioner for Political Affairs, Commissioner for Infrastructure, Commissioner for Agriculture, this and that. So assuming that a Liberian is a maybe commissioner for maybe peace and security, and you are Liberian, when you apply through their portal, their job recruitment site, looking at your credential, that commissioner may, see you as a kinsman who understand the culture and tradition of the country,
right,
and you will feel comfortable working with you. But if the commissioner for that particular area is from Zambia, and you from Liberia apply for certain position, my brother, it will be difficult to be taken. So we are saying that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should see it as a cardinal, issue on its agenda to be advanced and articulated. Yeah, so that we can pay out. Another issue that I also propose, we are also, proposing is to increase our diplomatic missions abroad, and that also come with costs.
Right.
It is not a magic. There are other countries around the world that they help a lot. The Kuwaiti government, when Liberia opening its mission in Kuwait, Liberia, the Kuwaiti government, they bought it expensive for more than 3-4 years. And they actually help us to pay the fees and all that. There are other countries around the world that are willing to do that. And moreover, it also comes with budgetary appropriation. But in doing that, it's important because the dividend that will come to your country in terms of economic growth and development will be maybe investment, trade investment, will be hence, and some other investors that are in the country that are looking for Liberia. They look at Liberia map, they look at your resources, they look at other things they want to invest, but they don't have any contact to bring them to the country.
And you look to make sure that as you serve on this committee and working along with your colleagues in your house and with the people in the executive, this can come to fruition.
Yes, if we, like, for instance, look at Australia. Australia is a country that if we engage into bilateral cooperation in different ventures, like maybe in the energy sector, maybe the education sector, if we establish a bilateral cooperation with Australia in terms of education, they are able to actually reduce the kind of gap that we experience from the civil crisis. And Australia have been there before helping us, but we can renew the cooperation in the educational sector so that at least they can be able to help us to educate more people from Liberia, especially in the graduate programs. And moreover, there are a lot of areas, opportunities that we can venture into, like a country like Singapore. Singapore is a trade hub within the South, Asian Pacific, country.
Right.
So if you, venture into that place, and then Liberia had a diplomatic relation with Singapore since 1987.
Right.
It's just a matter of renew it so that we can have representation there. Singapore is a trade hub within the Southeast Asian nations, and you look at Malaysia also, you look at South Korea. These are countries that we can explore, we can explore, and navigate opportunities that will bring dividend to our country in terms of, a lot of, investment activities, because this country need to be on the right trajectory as we move with the agenda. If you look at countries like Netherlands, you look at countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, this country has a lot of things to offer. You look at countries like Canada, in the whole South America, you don't have, representation there. Like country like, Mexico and Argentina, country like Brazil, that emerging economies.
Right. Honorable, let's domesticate this conversation. We want to jump back in the house.
So I was about to talk about competence and looking at his preferment to serve as co-chaired on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Does it speak to the fact that the honorable speaker has been able to maybe align individuals with their experience in life to serve this 55th legislature, and that can bring about change in terms of the gabble? How do you work with the gabble of Honorable J. Fonati Kofi? How are you enjoying such?
Fonati Kofi is a leader. I didn't vote for him, even though during the political heat of the speaker election, we were on the other side. Okay. He called me several times to actually join Campbell.
As part of participatory democracy.
Yeah,
legislative politics.
Yeah, because my political affiliation, I come from the MDR, that collaborated with Unity Party to have brought the Unity Party, the rescue agenda, and the rescue government to power. So we felt that due to our commitment, that we have with the collaboration, we would not betray. If the president called us at the time, the President Bouaka called us and he presented Richie Kuhn to us, on Richie Kuhn to us that this is my candidate. So it was too soon, to go against the president interest at the time. So we all had to rally around Richie, even though we didn't win. But look at the leadership of Fonati Kofi. A bad person, the leadership called across, and he's a leader. He controls the gavel well. He's somebody who is very articulate. And he understands the legal issues. And he has control or the gavel. So we are working along with him. And it is not about Fonati. It's about Liberia.
Okay.
Because we are all national leaders, and we need to rally around him, whether he and I from the same party or not. As much as I see as a leader, I need to also cooperate with him, and so that they are strong. Cooperation, ideas, can be engendered so that we can move our country forward. It's not about politics. I know that he's from a different party, I'm from a different party, but we're working together for the sake of Liberia.
Right.
So that's how I see it.
Right. That's absolutely good. So 15 January 2024, you resume work officially in your capacity as a member of the 55th legislature, representing the great people of Nima County District number 3. Tell us, since then, what have been some of the work you've done so far on the floor? Have you submitted a bill, or some of your letters you submitted so far? What were they centered around?
Actually, I was able to proffer a communication on the floor, which had to do with the establishment of an environmental code.
Okay.
I done extensive, study within the environmental space of our country, and I feel that there are a lot of offenses that have been meted against the environment, and people who violate some of these, issues should be, brought to a code of competence jurisdiction.
To what extent?
Like it is also backed by the EPA Act,
okay.
Article Section 34. It calls for the establishment of an administrative court that will actually litigate some of the offenses against the environment, when it comes to maybe disregard to environmental pollution, disregard to plastic pollution, and some of these, multilateral some of these multilateral companies that are operating in Liberia here, sometimes they do their waste product, it contaminate the drinkable waters within the environment or the space or the jurisdiction of the money area. And if the court is elevated to the judicial level, where the jurisdiction will be given to the court, to the level of the circuit court, I think it will also create fear and panic in our people to obey and abide by some regulations that are enshrined within the EPA Act. And secondly, the global community has attached great importance to climate change and environment.
Right.
So how can we domesticate, climate change law into our country? when it comes to carbon mitigation and some of these carbon emission issue that we are, in greenhouse issue, other things. How do we domesticate the climate change law into our country so that even though we Liberia have domesticated the Paris Agreement,
Right.
but how can we, enact a climate change law so that it can also help to beef up the efforts of the international community by actually protecting our environment is a major concern also. So that communication was sent to committee room, but trust me, as we are resumed, I will reduce that to a bill so for admin because the committee said the communication went to committee room, it not come out yet. But if I wait, because
So you read a discharge petition.
yeah, I gotta do it because if I don't do my dream for the establishment of the environmental code with that, so I'm going to elevate that debate on the national level, and we are going to do that because the environment is very temporary. We do more harm to the environment and go free. So we need to, establish some law that will actually govern our environment. The EPA statutory law is not the law for
Not strong
it's not too
enough.
strong. But if we had a law that is directly, in conjunction with the EPA Act that we establish the code, it have more weight, to prosecute people who violate. Because by the way, the EPA Act also calls for an establishment of an administrative court that will litigate, offenses against the environment at the court, and then if sufficient, maybe if maybe the corporate is found guilty, he can, if he want to seek an appeal, he can go to the higher court, maybe to the circuit court in the temple of justice to file an appeal. So
Your point is basically you want it to be up to the judicial level.
yes, yeah, it's actually strong in the EPA Act. It's there. It's just that most of the laws that are passed in Liberia, we don't follow it. Some of those bills are there, the laws are there. Liberia,
But you are making the laws now because
yeah. so
you're in the legislature.
we make the law sometimes. Even our
Yes, they gotta
citizens,
enforce the law.
yeah, even with enforcement of the law, we as citizens also need to do research because if you pass the law and Liberians say I'm not doing research on the law, how they enforce them again because there are some things that your right is there, but
They gotta be tested.
it's covered because you don't know it. So that's one of my great passion. And moreover, I'm also thinking that to also prefer an act, at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to detach the Bureau of Africa, because at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs,
Afro-Asian?
you get the Afro-Asian Bureau, and you cannot have two biggest continent in the world. Asia is a big continent, the biggest continent in the world. Africa is the second largest continent. Then you have the two bureaus together, Afro-Asian. So I'm also going to prefer the bill to detach the two bureaus to make it African Affairs Bureau, African Affairs, and Bureau, Asian Affairs.
So meaning that you will write for the act that created Ministry of Foreign Affairs to be amended.
To be amended, I'm going to do that. It's a plan. I'm planning that, so that in the soonest possible time, so that we can do that because we are also, on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and we have to do this thing so that we can, because Africa is a big continent. If you look at Liberia diplomatic space within the African nation, there are just few countries in Africa that Liberia has, a diplomatic relationship and they had a diplomatic presence. Look at a country like Kenya in the east. Kenya is an emerging economy in the middle, in the whole Eastern African country, and Kenya has been moving forward, but we don't have diplomatic presence. And Kenya have the headquarters of UN Environmental Program and also UN Habitat. How do we explore opportunities in that area to bring them back to Liberia? So we need a representation there.
You're actually a resourceful person for this committee on
Foreign affairs. Yeah. Well, how are you looking back to your people there in District 3? We always good vision at the national level.
We have been working very hard. I see the first year of our representation at the legislature as a sacrificial year.
Okay.
Because when we were inducted into office, we decided to start our appreciation tour, which we told our people that we will not be people who will say they possibly going to get 200,000, 300,000, but we actually started with some bags of cement, zinc, and other building materials that we have identified some projects that we can implement or execute in the soonest possible time. There is a village in my district called Bangplay. If you go there, you'll feel very, very bad about the school building. The school building is in a very deplorable situation, a condition that needs to be broken down and be rebuilt.
Wow.
So I went there during the campaign. They told me about the school. I saw it. I took some photos. So when I took over, I told the people that I will build a school. So we have started with the project. We carried 25 bags. We promised to get 50 bags of cement. Okay. We carried the first 25 bags of cement last time.
That's an initial contribution.
Along with 5 bundles of zinc.
Okay.
And we get them money to even haul sand. So the next time, I even sent my district coordinator yesterday to check whether the people have started moving the bricks with the cement, because sometimes when you get cement to the people, sometimes it's trying to rough.
Citizens' participation.
Yes, they have to, show ownership of the project. So the zinc is there, the cement is there, and we're getting money for sand. And the other school again in one of the villages called Zian Otan. Zian Otan, if you are going to Doguato border, you pass Duople, the road is on your right. And the school over there too, the town population is actually growing, and they don't have space for students to actually sit and learn. So when I went there the last time, I saw some children sitting down under the plum tree learning. So I said, no, I have to, do something as a lawmaker. So what I did over there was that we gave them 50 bags of cement with 5 bundles of zinc with money for sand so that they can be able to start, molding the bricks. As soon as they are done with it, we're going to start the project. And I told them that they should look for people, local construction people who can do the construction work, because they will hire a construction company to do the work. They will charge heavily. So we are doing that from our pocket. So we told them to do it in the very soonest possible time.
To take ownership of such projects.
And the other area, my predecessors, the old man that was elected, in the 50th legislature on the same Willa the late. He initiated a project, a town hall project, but the zinc was not completed, and the town hall, no cement, not plaster. It just that goat and sheep can sleep in it. Wow. So when I went the last time, I saw it, I said, okay, I'm going to build this town hall and to complete everything. So I gave them 5 bundles of zinc, and as we speak, they are covered the space. So I'm trying to get some back of cement so they can start the plastering. And I went to another town called Sakole also. They started a school project there, but it's not completed. So they told me that on the road you need to intervene, because we are here. The children are sitting down in the dust. They are learning, and then sometimes they sit in the dust, nothing. So I had to, give them, 50 bags of cement, to actually complete that project. And the women group in the town too, they told me that on the road we're sitting here. Sometimes when rain fall, we don't have area to sit down. The rain is falling every day. We want you to build a market hall for us. I say, how many bundles will require us to build a market hall? They told me, say, the market hall will be constructed with 5 or 6 bundles. So I get in the first 3 bundles, zinc, with some other stuff.
You touch all these small.
It's a town too. Right after Yule, there'll be a town hall in other stuff, in other development activity they are doing. When I went the last time, we get in 2 bundles in with 50 bags of cement, and they said that the zinc gave her no nail, I get nail money, everything, so that they can complete. So we are doing it small, and thank God to the speaker and the plenary, and also the government library. At least the speaker, and the committee on ways and means, were able to at least identify, and we collectively, identify some amount of money to be. I think Mr. Henderson,
was reading the legislature
100,000 per district. So the 100,000 we have,
what are you going to be doing with the 100,000?
Like
a couple of projects already on board.
Yeah. So there's a school that was under construction by the government of Liberia. The project came to us since 2013-14. It had been zinc, but in that plaster, nothing there at all. So what I did that the other building, the old building is so tight, and no space in the place for the children. So I decided that at least out there 100,000 at least
to build an annex?
At least to just plaster the place, put ceiling and everything to complete. And then it can for also the last time I went there, the issue of public toilet facility is very poor. So I decided that at least we should construct at least 4 or 3 or 4 public toilet, modern public toilet in the place to help the people also. And in Complete City, the old man that I'm talking about, the late, he constructed a stadium wing, the legislative EMR project doing the
Right.
50th legislature.
Okay.
He constructed a big football in the stadium, and then the stadium wing is not constructed. So I decided a portion of the 100,000 goals, in that place to at least construct the stadium wing so that
That's
Other
excellent.
people appreciated your efforts.
yeah, politics, politics, is difficult because out of the district of 40,000 registered voters, the people that voted for that trusted in me, that felt that I possess the charisma and the characteristic of a good leader were 8,960.
Okay.
So out of that number, you should know that we have plenty of opposition. So yeah, much I will try to even do our best, people will still criticize.
Right, so now open the lines, interact with the public. We have in around the table this evening the great son of Nima County coming from District Number 3, representing the people there at the legislature. The name is Onreneka Ike. He's the House's co-chairperson on Foreign Affairs Committee. 0880514096. He's talking about his legislative work both up Capitol Hill and within his district since he resumed his legislative work January 15, 2024. Now we're back for the second quarter, started up on today. Join us if you want to be a part of the show. 0880514096, 0770259660 are the numbers to join us right here on the conversation. You want to ask some question, you want to give a commendation, you want to ask some other question relative to what we're discussing, we take you on. This person, hello.
Thank you, Robert Hands, your co-host, and let me say a pleasant good evening to your studio guests. My name is Hussein Hill, and I put in for around Jacobtown in District 2, where Civil Cannon is the representative.
Right.
Let me appreciate the guest in studio. He sounds very diplomatic, but here's the concern. I hope you will take it and go say. I listen to you, your tone, your utterance, all look very coordinated and very decent. But you have gone to session many times and listened to some of your colleagues, like the legs of Yeke Cordova, the legs of other folks. And sometimes the way they sound, it doesn't sound like honorable. That is no disrespect to them. Have you had the time to talk to some of those guys who found a way, that brings the House of Representatives to public ridicule? Sometimes people who should not even put a mouth on representative will try to insult the entire House only because of one or two persons. Have you had the time to have conversation with some of those guys to cool down the anger and be more responsible?
Okay, he's listening, he's taking note to respond to that. Let's take more of the concerns. Hello?
Yeah, I did. This is Tabas, but I'm calling from very nice on some of Nima Kante.
Please go ahead.
I want to appreciate and love your God in you. But my question to you is, all the projects that you are EMI, is it going through the Development Council or as ordinary legislative project?
Okay, my brother. He listening, he will respond to those concerns. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Let's hear your name, where you call from, first female caller.
I'm Todd Potro from Tony. Yes, my uncle.
Okay, please go ahead.
I just want to explore him for a work he's doing in the district. I hope he will continue. We are waiting to get him from Tony now.
Well, what you say, I am. 07702596660. Those are the numbers to join us to be a part of it. Honorable, I hope you're taking note. You'll respond to those concerns coming up from the callers. 08805140960. 07702596660. Back to the line, this person. Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Let's hear you, your name, where you call from.
Yeah, my name is Steve. I'm just calling from Moscow County.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you on in studio. All the foreign engagement that you talk about. How is a good relationship between he and the executive?
Okay.
Holding some conversation, yeah. Then advising the foreign affairs ministry.
And then we'll come back to the honorable to respond to those concerns coming up from the callers. 07702596660. Honorable Neka Ige is our guest this evening, talking about his legislative work both up Capitol Hill and in his district. Hello.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
Doing very well. Tell us the name, where you call from.
I'm Andrew T. Maka to join you from Painesville.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, first I want to appreciate the honorable in the office. I mean, in your studio. I think his development agenda is a good thing that he's doing because that those people used to come and share money in the community, and if you give money to community people, just few handful of people escape with the money. But when you do that development, it means that almost all the community people benefit from that. So I want to tell you, thank you for that.
Okay, my dear brother, Mogiso, the lawmaker, Airboat. We have to come back to him now so that he responds to these concerns. We don't have time.
You have one about the conduct of lawmakers, but it's enshrined into the rules of the owner house.
Okay, the first caller, he was emphasizing on the attitude of some lawmakers that sometimes we are not moderate. That place a political theater. So
Cross views.
and so people disagree to agree sometimes. So you cannot, and everybody have different orientation. We are brought out by different family, and the orientation is different. So we cannot just say this person is actually going wrongly. We have our rules that guide us.
If there's a violation, that person will be dealt with in line with the rules.
I don't think that, and moreover, everyone in the house was elected by his people to represent them adequately. So I'm not somebody that will judge them. It's the Liberian people who will be the best judge to judge anybody in the legislature. The second caller also talk about
the development
process,
in whether I'm including the district development council. The district number 3, is a different district. Like the affected community under the Meta, affected area where Meta operates in the Yame area. The social development for 20% of it goes to the affected community. So whenever we are having district sitting to select projects, to be implemented from the 20%, we usually have a district council, chairperson, and the chairperson is the one who chairs a meeting, and the co-chair on our committee is a lawmaker who also discuss. But in other part of the district, we have our district coordinator from our office that supervises most of the project along with the community people.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that is the clarity I want everyone to provide. Somebody also talk about all the Google thing I thought whether in connection with the executive. I think I mentioned that we had a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I think on the committee, as committee co-chair, she is the best person that we can convey our message to be further conveyed to the president. So I think that's our role. We cannot just jump and go to the president and to give the president any advice on foreign affairs matter. The president is advised by advisors on international relations and foreign affairs, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs also there to advise the president on foreign matter. So we can also propose and design strategies that will improve our foreign service so that the Minister of Foreign Affairs can fully articulate that to the president's attention.
Thanks a lot, Honorable. We've had a great time here this evening on the show talking about your work. That's all the time we have to be here on the show today. We've been talking about his legislative work, both up Capitol Hill and in his district. The people of District Number 3, Nima County, ought to be proud of the representation they have in the 55th legislature. My name is Robert Haynes. The next time we'll be here will be on Thursday. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Audio